Hi, my name's Savannah, and I'm doing my book of choice presentation on the book The Island by Natasha Preston. Um, a brief summary of this book is there are these teenagers that get invited to Jagged Island, which is basically a amusement park in uh and it's just on an island, and the whole amusement park takes up the whole island. So it's basically um just an island full of like amusement park rides and um restaurants, and just it's a really cool place. And there is there are these influencers named Liam, James, Will, Ava, Harper, and Paisley. Paisley is the main character. It's in first person, and so we're getting like Paisley's point of view, and they're all social media influencers with millions of followers. So they get invited to Jagged Island, the amusement park, and basically have to just record themselves and blog themselves, like having fun on the amusement park rides, having fun eating the amusement park food, and just having a great time. They have to blog this, and they get like transported there freely. They uh, just get to stay in this beautiful place for a weekend. And so during the weekend, they go on a bunch of rides. They're like, wow, this place is beautiful. And then it turns out not so beautiful when a big plot twist comes in where there's a serial killer on the loose. Um, so they have to try to get off the island alive. Which is really cool. I love this book. The genre, what is horror thriller kind of thing. It's it's basically horror and thriller. The characterization was um so the author made it into first person, like I said, which we're getting Paisley's point of view, and she made it to where um it's so descriptive that you like can almost feel how Paisley's feeling during the moment, and can feel like the emotions rushing through everyone. And like it's just like it's a really good book on how descriptive it is. It's not like so descriptive where you're like, okay, come on, get it over with, you know what I mean? But it's descriptive to the point where like you know exactly how she's feeling and what's going on and what's about to happen. And you can like feel your heartbeat racing and all that. And it's like one of those books where you're like constantly on your toes the whole entire time because it's so descriptive, where you can feel what the character is feeling. And honestly, that makes the character seem even more real, because it also like um just shows how much of like you can just feel that the character is real almost. And it's honestly unique how descriptive it is. I'm gonna be saying descriptive a lot in this, but it's honestly such a good book because it's descriptive. And it's honestly it's unique because I've never had a book so descriptive. Like I just started getting back into reading because of this book. Well, because of one of her other books called The Cellar. But this book also helped me get back into reading, and I can I can just picture how the character is feeling, and I just think this book is so unique because of it. This author is unique because of how descriptive she is, but also she can keep you on your toes the whole time. Like it's honestly just an amazing book in general, and I love it. The setting was, this world's actually really cool. I can kind of explain this world. So it's like our world, but there is an amusement park on this deserted island almost. And it's just like kind of a mini island where it's just the amusement park. And the amusement park is gothic. And I think honestly that's really cool in my opinion. Like I'm not really into that gothic stuff or anything like that, obviously. But I genuinely love how she set up this whole world. Um I like how you can only get onto the island and off the island by using a boat. Like I think it was a speedboat. Um Anyways, it doesn't matter what kind of boat, but you can only get on and off the island through a boat and through one person that's um driving the boat. I think that was really cool that there's like almost no way out unless there's only like a limited space on a way out instead of like multiple ways out. There's only one space to go out and that's through that boat. And later you'll find out why they can't like you'll see. um Honestly, it's just like it's a really cool setting how this like gothic era, like there are swords all over the place and the rides are like gothic themed, and like the whole amusement park is just themed gothic. And I think it's really really cool how it's on this deserted island, water everywhere. You can only get on the boat and off the boat. Um and it's all gothic, and I just think it's a really cool concept on honestly. Um they just Natasha Preston just like really created a unique and cool world in quote unquote our world, you know. Dialogue, they're um so I couldn't exactly obviously couldn't hear their voices or anything like that. But like when like the scary parts come in, like because it's a horror book, when the scary parts come in, you can like, she's descriptive again, like I've said. She's so descriptive that I can almost like kind of hear in my head how shaky their voices are or something like that, or even in their brain like thinking um how like shaky their head voices. And I just think it's really cool how descriptive she is in this book, that I can feel her emotions, know what she's like, how she's saying words and all that when like scary parts come in. And that's really the only thing about dialogue. And they kind of like have a bickering, like speaking of dialogue, they kind of have like a little bickering because all of these influencers are so different. Like, which also I think is really a cool concept as well with this book, is how she Natasha Preston wrote it to where they're all influencers, yes, with millions of followers, yes, but they're also so different that they do have their fights, but they also have to come together um to defeat whoever is trying to harm them. And I just think it's a really cool kind of book. Craft. Um, I've learned again with the just the descriptive part, honestly. Like it's taught me how to be descriptive without being like boring descriptive. You know what I mean? Like it's taught me how what kind of words to use instead of just like um simple words. I can use like more descriptive words. I can also be like more descriptive in like how the person in my book is breathing or how shaky their voice is. And it's just like the um they Natasha Preston taught me how to be so descriptive in my writing that I can be descriptive, and people will know what I'm talking about in the book, but also not being so boring descriptive that I'm just like, okay, get to the point. You know what I mean? um the message, honestly, the only message that I could really think of for this book is don't trust even the closest person that you know. Like, don't don't trust them so much that you don't think that they could do any wrong, you know. Because in this book you'll see a lot of plot twists, and these plot twists are like insane. Seriously, like they're pretty insane with how they handle like, yeah, the plot twists are just really cool. And the message is basically like, don't trust someone so much to the point where like you don't think they could do any wrong, and they're always on your side, because you never know, you know. um so I think that might be what she's teaching. I don't really know other than that, but um my reaction, yeah, I would 100% recommend this book to anyone. Anyone. Um, I would recommend this book to anyone who's like interested in horror or thriller or anything with murderers. I would recommend this book to. Because it's such a cool concept and such a good book based on like horror genre and thriller genre. Um I would read honestly any book from this woman, Natasha Preston. Like there are in total, let me see. There are in total there are in total 8 books that she's written so far, and honestly, like I'd read any of her books. I've already read her other book, The Cellar, which that book genuinely got me started back into reading. Like, she did it so well that I was like, when I closed the book, I was like, wow. Like, I literally put the book down and I verbally said wow, because it was such a cool book. And I would read any of her books that she's written, because she's just such a good author and so descriptive, but also keeps you on your toes the whole time. And I just think that's amazing, and an amazing quality in an author for me personally. My author was definitely successful in creating a book that was so engaging and compelling, and that fit within the genre of horror. And yeah, I would recommend this book to anyone, honestly. It's a really good book. I would recommend this author to anyone, and I would recommend you reading any of her books, because I'm sure it's just as impactful and good as this one. Thank you.